Hi, my name's Helen Sharp from the Knitting School in Seattle, and today I'm going to be showing you how to unravel entire rows of knitting and then how to use both the unraveling technique and picking up drop stitches, which I showed in a previous video, to fix most mistakes on the knitting machine. And silly me, I was supposed to change color 3 rows below, and now I need to get back to that place and switch my colors out. So I'm going to take the orange yarn out of the feeder and I'm going to pull on it. So I'm going to pull on the yarn away from the knitting. So can you see it's starting to pull really tight along the beginning of the knitting? Once I have a few stitches that are pulled tight, using my other hand, I can kind of wiggle the previous row of stitches back onto the needles. And it's a really small movement. You want that tension on the yarn, and then it's just a very slight movement to get the previous row of stitches back on. So try not to go over the gate pegs like that, and try not to pull the needles too far forward. We don't really want the stitches to go past the latches because that just creates work for us later where we have to put them back inside the hooks. Sometimes the end needle can be a little tricky to do. It slipped off okay on that one. So now I'm just going to pull any slack back towards the cone. Make sure my needles are back in B position. And now I'm going to pull the other direction. So I'm always pulling away from the knitting. And then just a little wiggle to get the previous row back up on the stitches. If the end one is tricky, try and hold it underneath the knitting here, pulling it out so the knitting is pulling directly below the needle. And then sometimes with your little finger you can just poke the head of the needle through the loop and get the last stitch off. So now I'm ready to do my final unravel. So pulling it away from the knitting and then just a little wiggle to get the row back up on the needles. Pull the slack through. And now I just need to get my carriage over to the other side where my green yarn is. So on this Brother machine, you cancel the part button in the direction you're going to move the carriage. And then you can just bring it across without anything dropping. Cancel the part button and switch back to green. Okay, you can see we've got a real mess going on here. I've dropped a whole bunch of stitches there and a few further down. And the first thing I'm going to do is take the weight off the machine, and that will just reduce the potential for it to get worse. And then using single prong transfer tool, I'm going to start picking up stitches along the bed. I can't even really tell what needles they're supposed to go on, so I'm just going to put them on some needles and hope for the best, and I can fix it afterwards. And I'll pick up a few in the middle. Okay, so most needles have got something on. I'm not quite sure what's happening in that area at the moment, but I'm going to unravel some of the green rows and hopefully things will become a little clearer. Just ended up dropping some more here. Okay, I think we can see where this one is supposed to be. And this is stuck behind the gate peg. We've got an empty needle here. And an empty needle there. I'm not sure where that stitch is right now. So I'm going to just do a few more unravels. Something got stuck on the gate peg. And there. So that looks pretty good up that end. This guy needs re-knitting. This one is on the wrong needle. This one also. And there's a little one hiding back there. Needs re-knitting. And now looks like we're back in shape. Can you believe it? I've dropped even more stitches. So again, I'm going to take the weight off first of all. Sometimes I put the weight up on the needle bed, and that just reminds me that I took it off and to put it on again before I start knitting. And now I'm just going to try and stop it from getting worse by picking up what I can see. I'll deal with that really long one in a minute. So I'm going to unravel some rows. A little more picking up is needed. Now I think I can get that one. And now we're in pretty good shape apart from this one here. So I'm just going to Reknit that one float at a time. Looks like the yarn got pulled a little tight in there, so I'll just try and realign it. Put the weight back on. And I'm ready to go. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you are interested in machine knitting, please subscribe to my channel and feel free to ask questions, requests, or any comments on the feed below. Thank you.